Greetings YouTube, Fuzz here bringing you another episode of Final Fantasy VII, and today we are continuing on with the bizarreness that is Wall Market. So, Ares has come up with the remarkable idea that in order to gain access to Don Corneo's mansion and rescue Tifa, Cloud must dress up as a girl, mainly because the Don only welcomes girls into his house. Why we couldn't have just barged in there with our Buster Sword, I'm not exactly sure. To be honest, I don't think the Don would have put up too much of a fight. But hey, this is the way we're going, this is the way we're doing it, so who am I to complain? Now, in the last episode, we went ahead and collected all of the items that are necessary to get what is considered to be the best result in Don Corneo's mansion, the most humorous, which is to have Cloud selected as the Don's date. Now, one thing to note, there is still an element of randomness to who the Don actually selects when choosing his girl for the evening. So even though we have collected absolutely everything, there is a chance that it will not be Cloud. For that reason, I recommend once making sure you already have everything and have made all the right selections, save your game. Because if Cloud still isn't picked, it might just be a case of having to reload your game and entering the Don's mansion once more and replaying the scenes for a different result. That said, without any further ado, let's go ahead here and head on inside. And what we're going... Oh, what am I doing? Before we actually go in there, we do need to actually get Cloud to be dressed up as a woman. So just got to remind myself which is the clothes shop, because all of these buildings look the same to me, I'll tell you the truth. Okay, so the clothes shop is this one here, of course. Okay, and now we're just going to approach the dressing room here and tell Ares that yes, we are indeed ready. And here we go. That wig didn't particularly go well over Cloud's rock hard gelled hair, did it? Well, there we have it. We are now ready to go ahead and proceed. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to head north now. And of course, the house is right at the top of Wall Market. No doubt Don Corneo has the best property in town. And we're going to go ahead and speak to the bouncer dude. Well, seems like Cloud's disguise has done the trick. Yeah, I can't see this working in the Final Fantasy VII Remake in Full HD. It's just... I don't know how it's going to work. I really don't. Just the very practicalities of it. There's no way in a million years that Cloud is not going to look like a man. It's just not going to happen. Right, okay, so we've got control again now. At this point, we're going to head up the stairs. Cloud struggling to walk in a dress for the first time here. And the central door is where Don Corneo is located. So for now, let's just head into the passageway down into the basement and see who's waiting for us below. Well, it's Tifa, alright. And... do I want to know why Don Corneo has some kind of dungeon with a torture rack in the middle of his basement? Is that for his girls? Is it for dissenters? Is it for himself? With a man like Corneo, you never know, do you? There's a lot of teenage romance in the air around these parts, isn't there? Seeing as how all these characters are meant to be, what, in their 20s? Right, let's go ahead and grab whatever this blue thing is. It happens to be an ether. And let's just get some exercise. Make sure we're comfortable in the dress, since we've got to convince the Don of it in a few moments' time. And then we'll speak to Tifa. And see what she's got to say for herself. Okay, so now it seems we're going to find out exactly why Tifa is in this place. That's a little bit of a strange thing to happen. When they got out of the Sector 5 reactor, they saw a weird man, and so Barrett squeezed him for information. Is that a normal thing to do if you see somebody that's weird? Just go up to them and squeeze them because they're bound to have information of some kind? Right, okay then. So, with that out of the way, I think we know our place in this situation. We're going to head back out to the basement area and make our way towards the central door here and head inside for another scene. And here he is, Don Corneo himself, in all his Mohican glory. And now we'll find out if our little trick of getting makeup and a blonde wig and everything else that we got on top of the items that we needed, which was actually just any of the wigs and any of the dresses. We'll see if it's worked. Okay, we're about to find out now. The one he runs to is the one he's picked. Could be Cloud, could be either Tifa or Ares. And it is Cloud. Okay, one of the things that is important about having Cloud picked is that it gives you an opportunity to get 5 points over to Barrett's date thingy for the best bromance trophy, which can occur later on. Once again, that only really applies to those if you're playing on a system that has achievements or trophies. The Switch, which I'm playing on, doesn't. But hey, you know, the date with Barrett is obviously the funniest of the 4 dates, even though there's not a whole lot of dialogue in it, so you still might want to go ahead with it even if you're playing on Switch. And since +5 to Barrett's points is actually a lot for him, since he needs so many points, having the the girl that's picked here as Cloud is really actually quite important for that. By the way, I believe if Tifa or Ares get picked, then you have some battles to go through. Not hard ones, but battles nonetheless. Oh, dear. Right, sadly we do need to approach the Don to continue here. It doesn't really matter what we choose here. Right, on this dialogue option, this is where you get your 5 points. You need to choose this one here. Yes, his name's Barrett. So that's why you need Cloud picked, otherwise you can't get this dialogue. Okay, some more interesting dialogue here. Yeah, lovely. I'm sure he's just talking about the cigar in his mouth, isn't he? Oh. Honestly. Well, it does turn out that the Don has been having dealings with Shinra. Shinra, of course, being the arch nemesis of Avalanche, with their Mako reactors and everything else that they're doing that's peeing them off. Wow, Shinra are planning something super evil. Right, now we need to line up next to Ares and Tifa. It doesn't actually matter what we select here. So let's just go for the right option. But it doesn't really matter. Either way, we're falling down into the sewers. But not until we get a little sneak peek into the workings of Shinra itself. At the headquarters in Midgar. Right, so there we have it. Shinra's scheming. A lot of work to take out one small rebel group. Mind you, we have just destroyed one of their Mako reactors, haven't we? Which I guess indicates that perhaps Avalanche is more of a problem than Shinra would like them to be. So we'll go ahead and grab the potion before we wake up our friends. And of course Ares as well. Mustn't leave her in the flowing poo here. Incidentally, one thing I probably should have done is equip our party members, because we don't get another opportunity after waking our team up before the boss battle. But hopefully we'll be okay. It's just Tifa really that's unequipped. And the other thing as well to note is that whoever you speak to here does get 3 points to the romance dating points thingy. So because I spoke to Tifa first, she's going to get the 3 points. And the reason I did that is because we're trying to aim to get Barrett as the date. Ares already starts off in the lead out of all of the characters that can be potentially come to, you know, meet with Cloud. So I've chosen Tifa just to try and balance things out a little bit. Right, so here he is, Aps himself, and he's actually weak to fire. So if you've got a fire spell equipped, which for some reason I haven't, I don't know where that is, then yeah, by all means go ahead and beat him about a bit with that. I think he's got 1800 health, this boss, 1800. So obviously a few hits are going to be needed. But he does damage himself with his tidal wave ability, which you just saw a moment ago. And he can summon that from behind himself or in front of himself. Now if he summons it from behind, it's going to damage him more than it damages you. And there we have an example of that. Now if he summons it from in front or behind the party, it's going to do massive AoE damage to the party and less damage to him. Why he doesn't do that all the time, well, that's anyone's guess. In fact, what this creature is anyone's guess. It's thought, I think, to be some kind of monstrosity, failed experiment from Shinra, but I don't think it's ever really been confirmed. Either way, this is where we're going to need to stay on top of healing now. Although, that said, it's not the most challenging boss, so maybe I'll just carry on laying on the damage. And we'll hit him with a cross slash. I think it's possible to paralyse this guy. Cross slash doesn't do as much damage as Braver, but does have a chance of casting paralysis, which it has. And as you can see, it often even works on bosses, so it doesn't tend to last long, maybe just a round or two. But even so, it just means we get to hold off a little bit of damage while it's active. And it's worn off. So hopefully coming from behind him, yep. Does he kill himself? Yes, he does. Good chance of him doing that due to the amount of high damage that ability causes. So there we go, guys. Nice easy boss fight, really. I didn't even need to cast a single heal spell. And a Phoenix down is your guaranteed reward from that particular fight. So now we need to go ahead and make our way out of the sewers. But before we do that, let's just sort out our party's equipment. Cloud and Ares should be okay. So we're going to go ahead and put the metal knuckle onto Tifa and also a mithril armlet. Then we can go ahead and sort out some materia, in this case only fire. I think everybody else is okay, set up the way they are. Could go ahead and heal, but again, don't really think there's any real need to. Now you can see there's a yellow ball on the other side of the walkway here. That is actually a new materia, so we will certainly be picking that up in a moment's time. There are certainly some interesting enemies in this game as well, aren't there? Right, hopefully Cloud will take care of at least 2 of these. Yep. Good job. Right, I think we're going to need to put a couple of heals about the place before we really start getting into any more battles here. Starting to get just a little bit low on health. That's cool. It happens. We can actually go to the magic menu here just to save on items. And there we have it. By the way, if you have the all materia equipped with a cure, with restore, you can restore everybody's health at once, even from the field menu there. Okay, the steel materia. I guess we can give that to... let's give it to Ares. Mainly because she can, like, substitute her attack for stealing, since she doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Whereas Cloud tends to do quite a bit of damage, so we might actually want him still doing so while we're stealing with other party members, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. Okay, so this is quite a short dungeon. This ladder is pretty much going to bring us out of it. Let's go ahead and see if we can steal anything of interest. Most of the enemies that you can steal from in the game don't have a whole lot of decent stuff on them. However, you can get weapons and other nice items rarely from some of the other enemies in the game. So I'll point those out to you when, you know, we actually come across them. But as of right now, just steal to your heart's content more than anything. And don't expect a whole lot from it. Also, not every enemy has something to steal. But you can tell when you steal from an enemy if they don't have anything, because it will say nothing to steal. Whereas, if it says cannot steal anything, it means there is something that you can steal. You just haven't been successful on that attempt. So little things like that will just help you with stealing from enemies. And we are levelling, which is a bit of a bonus. So now we're going to make our way out of here. There's no more items to grab from this location. And look at that, a beautifully placed save point. But we're close now. Back to Sector 7. You'll probably remember the train graveyard from earlier. We did poke our nose into it. We're on the other side of it right now. And I'll tell you what, Don Corneo in Sector 6 is remarkably close to Sector 7. I would be panicking if I was him right now. That little journey through the sewers was all that separates him from us right now. Alright then guys, well I'm going to go ahead and take a break at this point. So hopefully you've enjoyed watching. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section of Final Fantasy VII on Switch and Xbox One. Hope you guys are having a great time, and I'll see you soon. Take care.